Welcome to the Arsenal show. We are live, and it's the Liverpool versus Arsenal match preview, aka the next test for Arsenal. They had Leicester as the test, they had Villa as the test, they had Tottenham as the test. They've moved the goalpost again, and now it's Liverpool of all teams. And we're joined by a Liverpool fan, Mark Brus. How you doing, Mark?
Liverpool?
Yeah.
Hey, Liverpool.
I'm an Arsenal fan, actually. Sorry.
You're an Arsenal fan. You're an Arsenal fan. Oh,
Yeah.
better. Even better. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Oh, I love that. All right.
Okay.
All right. Good. Enjoy. All right. So, and of course, I'm joined by my co-host, Steve K. How you doing, Steve?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah, very, very good. Looking forward to Saturday. The big test. I thought, I've had enough of tests when I was at school. I'm getting fed up with all these tests.
No, well, you're an Arsenal fan, so they're going to come thick and fast throughout the season. Like I said, goalposts are moving. Mark's also part editor-in-chief of Fanex and Caught Offside, and I should have known, just Arsenal. You did speak about that just before. Just caught the end of it. So, Mark, how are you feeling about this game?
Well, more confident than I would have been, a couple of months ago. I still think overall you'd have to say Liverpool are the favourites. They've had a bit of a slip up, but I mean Salah is still in unbelievable form. I think our defence is looking pretty good, but this will be a much bigger test than we've had for some time. So, it's crucial that we start well and can somehow keep that front three quiet. But I'm not hugely optimistic. I'd say probably a draw would be would be a very good result if we can get it.
I'd take a draw now. I'd take a draw now. And you was just saying, Liverpool have had a little bit of a blip, but do Liverpool blips really count?
I mean, they're not as solid defensively as we've seen in the past. I mean, Van Dijk's come back, obviously, but I don't know. They don't look to me. If you were to point to one weakness in the Liverpool side in terms of the title at the moment, they're not as solid looking as Chelsea and City at the moment. Obviously, up front they're incredible. Salah's in the form of his life. Mane's looking good again, and even Firmino's scoring, a bit more than usual. So it's just in defence they're conceding a lot. So, is it a blip? I don't know. Maybe they'll get over it, but I think it's maybe not. There might be a weakness there for Arsenal if Aubameyang can play. I mean, there's some doubt about that. If our attack clicks into gear, then that's somewhere we could have, a bit of a chance.
Yes, definitely. Steve, what's your feelings on the game?
It's for me. It's still a very frightening fixture. Still, I can't help but keep thinking back over the last few seasons when we've played at Anfield, and we just seem to be getting hit by fives, quite on a regular occurrence. But this season, like what Mark said, I agree. I'm a little bit more confident than other games when we've gone to Anfield and played Liverpool. Couple of reasons. Firstly, our defence is a much stronger defence than what it was when we played Liverpool in the past. We seem to be clocking up a lot of clean sheets against good sides as well. Not just the smaller sides where we seem to be holding strong against the bigger sides. We've got an excellent centre half partnership forming, and it does give me that little bit. Gives me more confidence now. I agree with Mark when he said about Aubameyang. I mean, every preview show we say that he's the guy that's got to be on it. We are getting goals from the midfield now, which is fantastic. But how long can we rely on them? We can't rely on them every single game to score goals from midfield. The guys who've got to score the goals are the Aubameyangs or the Lacazettes, and they're not really doing it at the moment. So. Yeah, they've got to have a good game on Saturday afternoon.
Mark, is Aubameyang's got not lack of goals, but inconsistent scoring a bit of a worry to you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it looks like his confidence has kind of gone. I think there was a spell last season when he was being played out wide in a front three, and it just didn't really seem to work. He wasn't getting into the right positions. I do worry that Arteta's kind of just not quite used his strengths as well as he could. Having said that, I mean, I like the look of our attack at the moment. It's not all about Aubameyang, but I mean, it would obviously be ideal in a big game like this. You want someone who, if you get that one chance, they can take it. And I just worry that with Aubameyang at the moment, he just doesn't look his old self. I think, like I said, it's probably a confidence thing. It just looks like he's not playing with that same kind of freedom that he used to, and the same kind of
relaxed. It just seems relaxed. It's like the other day when the first offside goal, when it bounced off his shin to Saka. A relaxed Aubameyang when he's scoring regularly week in, week out, he's taking that down the slot in the net. This Aubameyang, he was all stiff. It's bounced off his shin. It's gone to, and then the penalty miss, and then trying to take Odegaard's goal at the end, and it being offside. It was just not his luck. But hopefully that turns against Liverpool. Steve, team news is out. Oh, no, it's not out. There's early team news. Sadio Mane is back. Looks like he's going to be back. Robertson's going to be back. And, however, Naby Keita, Curtis Jones and Firmino still potentially remain out. Good news?
Well, no, not really. I mean, the players that are out are probably players that I probably wouldn't have worried. I'd probably rather the other two out, Robinson and Mane, because I think, they'll cause a lot of problems down that left-hand side. Tommy Ashew's right, which means he's in for another big game. He seems to be having big games every week, Tommy Ashew. And, we're talking about tests. I mean, that's going to be another test for him with Mane and Robinson running at him for 90 minutes. But as I said, like just a minute ago, I'm pretty confident. Now we've got a really decent right back now who I think can probably, handle them, at his best. And when I look at Mane now, I don't know what you two guys think, but he's not the Mane of, 2 seasons ago. He doesn't seem to be that player where I was that scared of. Like I have been in the past. He seems to be missing him. So, like we was just talking about Aubameyang just then, it just doesn't seem to be something right with Mane. So I'm quite confident that we can handle him. But I feel that even with those injuries, that we're still going to have to be at our best.
All right. I mean, Mane's not. I agree with you. Mane's not as sharp as he usually is, but it's just Mane, isn't it? It's still Sadio Mane. Mark, give us your predicted lineup. How you think Mikel Arteta will set up his team?
Well, obviously the big one is if Aubameyang plays or not. I mean, there was some mention of him picking up an injury on international duty. I'm not sure we've had confirmation from Arteta on that yet. So we'll see about that.
Yeah.
I would guess apart from that, Arteta might be tempted to switch to a back three. We've played it sometimes. I'm not sure there's any need. I mean, I like the look of our defence at the moment. I like the way, Ben White and Gabriel look together. And then I guess it more or less picks itself after that. I would guess Kieran Tierney would come back in if he's fit. I mean, Tavares has played a few games recently and looked pretty good, but I'm not sure I'd want him starting against Salah in such a big game. So, I mean, another question mark is Odegaard. I think, he's been on the bench a couple of times, but I would probably bring him in for this one. I think there's not quite enough going forward if we leave him out. I think.
Have you liked the look of him when he comes on?
I do like the look of him. Yeah, I mean, he's not kind of set the world alight so far. He was
Mhm.
pretty good with us on loan last season. I was kind of disappointed when it looked initially like he was going to go back to Real Madrid. I thought he would have been worth keeping, and then obviously we did get him, and I think he's got more to offer. I think, yeah, it would be good to see him take control of a big game like this. I think, as we mentioned, Liverpool's defence maybe not quite as solid as in the past, so maybe there's room for him to kind of get into useful spaces and link things up.
Yeah, definitely. And did you say Lacazette up top?
He's a tricky one, Lacazette. I like what he brings to the team. I'm not sure. I think he's quite a good option off the bench, really. I don't know if I would start him for this one. I think probably, again, it depends on Aubameyang. But if Aubameyang plays, I think he's got to start, and you've got to have Saka and Smith Rowe either side of him. So, yeah, Lacazette maybe off the bench, but I wouldn't start him for this one.
All right, Steve, what's your thoughts? Did you change anything from Mark's team?
No, we're not much. Pretty much the same. It's good with Arsenal at the moment because it's like we seem to have a lot of cover in most positions, and if someone plays and another one comes in, you're like, well, okay, that's okay. I think the most difficult decision for Arteta this weekend will be the Tavares and Tierney situation. I mean, Mark mentioned that that Tierney could come in probably for his experience and that, especially with Salah. I totally get that. Would it be unfair on Tavares because he's played so well and he ain't really done nothing wrong? But Tierney played well for Scotland in both games in international break. He seems to be a better defender, and when I see him play for Scotland than he does for Arsenal. And I think that maybe because he plays in a free.
Yeah, he plays in a free. Mm-hmm.
Now, Mark just mentioned there that there's a possibility that Arteta may play a free. And if he does, I think that would be perfect to bring Tierney in to play next to White and Gabriel, possibly playing even Tavares as a wing back. To give us that extra bit of pace and power going forward on that left-hand side, especially if Aubameyang's injured and we need to change a bit of shape. Again, I agree with I'm a massive fan of Odegaard, and I'd like to see him start. And Lacazette, yeah. I suppose if Aubameyang's not there, he would probably have to start. But I suppose it would all depend on whether he plays or not. And as I said, where does he play? Does he bring an extra defence DM in, or I think he has to, doesn't he? Does he play on? Does he bring El Neni in to tighten it up? There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions there, but yeah, I would actually quite like to see. It's changing it a bit, but I wouldn't mind seeing a back three against Liverpool.
Do you think there's enough firepower with Odegaard there, no Lacazette? Do you think that's enough going forward?
Well, he don't give us. Yeah, I haven't seen Lacazette give us much, and in an attacking sense, I probably could say that Odegaard seems to be more dangerous and more capable, and looks more dangerous and more capable of getting a goal than probably what Lacazette has in recent weeks. So we could easily, with Smith Rowe, with Odegaard, you could easily play the false nine. I know it's all different, but if we're talking about a Lacazette that's not on form, if we're talking about an Aubameyang that might not be playing, and a Martinelli that's not on form, then yeah, I think with players like Saka, with Smith Rowe, with Odegaard, if you're playing a Tavares, I think there'll be plenty going forward when we need to, because look, let's face it, we ain't going to have much of the ball.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough game. So we need to make sure we're clinical when we do get them opportunities. That's why, just going off of the back of Aubameyang's form. I mean, what I do like about Aubameyang is his work rate recently. I like the way he's been leading the line. He's been setting the example up there. It's just when you want him to do what Aubameyang's been doing for the last, well, not last season, but prior to that, which looks like it came easy. He's looking like it's coming hard to him, and that shouldn't be the issue. That's the only worry for me. And as we've seen since Lacazette has been playing, it seems to be, although the goals necessarily haven't been there consistently, there's been a connection. There's been some cohesion up top, and he seems a lot happier there. But it would be nice if he could finish that off with some goals. Who would you say the key player was for Arsenal come Saturday, Mark?
At the moment, you'd probably have to say Smith Rowe. I mean, he's got a bit of everything in that sort of attacking midfield role. He links up play, he works hard, and he's added goals to his game this season, which has been really good to see. Yeah, I mean, I think now the question is, can you do it on a stage like this? So that would be really great to see. I think, most of the play will probably be going through him, and obviously Saka as well. With he's in great form. His pace, his skill, and he's adding goals to his game as well. So I think those two, the two homegrown players, they're becoming so important for us.
They are the hailing ways. They are. Steve, who would you say the key player was?
Yeah, I totally agree with Mark. Smith Rowe. It's if we're going to go to Liverpool and we're going to get something, then he's going to be something to do with it. Whether it's going to be him making the goal, whether it's him getting in the box and scoring the goal, he's going to be the one. If Lacazette or Aubameyang are not on it, he's the one that we're all going to be looking to maybe get in the box, score that winner, score that equaliser. He's the man at the minute, isn't he? He's the kid in the moment. He's, everything he's touching is turning to gold. Scored for England in a week. Scoring goals for Arsenal, left, right, and centre. And why not carry it on against Liverpool and get a goal against Liverpool and get something and bring it back, whether it's a win or a draw. So definitely Smith Rowe. But if you're looking from another point of view, you're not having the ball and you've got to hold on. You're looking at our central defenders again, but this is Liverpool. They've all got to have good games, really. You could all say they're going to have to be key to win their battle. But I agree with Mark. Smith Rowe.
All right, and score predictions. Mark, the dreaded question: what is the score prediction?
I reckon we could possibly sneak a 1-1 draw.
Yeah,
I'm going with that.
All right, 1-1 draw. Mark's gone for. Steve, what are you going for?
Yeah, I'm not going to be that bold enough to say we're going to go to Anfield and win. And I'm going to agree with Garth in the comments, and I'm going to go for a 2-2.
Garth's going for an absolute epic battle, 2-1 at Anfield.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be scared of them. I don't know what Mark thinks. I mean, do you think we're going to go? Do you think we're going to attack them, Mark? Do you think we're going to sit back? How do you think we're going to How do you think we'll line up?
It's quite hard to tell, isn't it? I think we see different sides to Arteta's management. Or it's not that consistent at the moment. Sometimes the football's really good, and especially in the big games, especially early on, he's shown he can control the big games really well. But then sometimes you just see there's like no cohesion to the passing. There's no real creativity. It's very hard to predict. I think I'm feeling more optimistic than I would have been earlier in the season. I think we've got a bit of confidence now. Every department of the team looks stronger than it has for a while. So I think we could go there and give Liverpool a game, go for it. I don't think we'll just sit back and defend. But whether it's enough, I can't really tell. I think there's usually, we have a lot of crazy games at Anfield, like 3-3 draws, 4-4 draws, things like that. So it's possible that we'll have something else like that. I guess there's goals in both teams and probably mistakes in both teams as well.
Yeah. Is Thomas Partey fit? What's his situation?
Yeah, I've not seen any injury news on Thomas Partey, but I have seen some injury news on Aubameyang, and he's in training today. So that's good news for Arsenal. Aubameyang has been training today. Smiles on the faces of everyone. Let's hope he can back that up. Let's hope he can back that up. It's going to be a tough game. I'm with you, Mark. Sometimes you get an Arsenal that are just free flowing. Like what I've seen recently is we're very aggressive when it comes to whether it's defensively or attacking. We're full throttle for the first 20 minutes, but then the only thing that worries me is generally for the rest of that first half, we kind of let the other team get back into it, and they grow in confidence and they get onto us, and then we come out in the second half. And I don't think we can afford to do that with Liverpool. I think we've got to be a bit more balanced. We don't necessarily have to go full throttle at the start, but I would like to see us go for it and then just contain them, but not let them have so much players. It's Liverpool. It's going to be hard, but I don't think we can afford to let Liverpool have that much pressure and keep on coming at us, and then hope that Ramsdale or White or Gabriel puts in the blocks or puts in the saves. It's going to take a massive team effort. But yeah, I said 1-1 the other day, and I'm going to stick with 1-1 as well.
No one's going for it, are they? No one's going.
No way I'm coming on this show and ever saying
3-0.
Arsenal are losing. I don't care if we're playing the Brazilian national team. I'm not coming on here and saying that Arsenal are losing. It's not in me. It's not in me. Hopefully, I will take a boring game and a 0-0 draw right now. I don't care. It'd be nice to use Liverpool as a gauge to see where we are. What I'd like to see is just a good performance from Arsenal, and hopefully that can be backed up with some points on the board as well. That's all we have time for. Thank you for joining us today, Mark.
Thank you.
Definitely love to have you on again if you can.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
All right, sweet. And thank you for joining us today, Steve.
Yeah, welcome, mate, as always.
All right, as always, thank you for joining us in the comment section, Garth and Melvin Marks. Melvin, that is Jerome's dad. That's the big Mark. So he's going to be on the show at one point, probably doing a show with Steve. So make sure you take in what he has to say, because he is top Arsenal knowledge. All right. Once again, thank you for joining us, people. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Come over to KS1 TV if you're watching on Twitter or on Facebook. Peace out. Stay safe and wash your hands.